Alright, I'm not sure what this means, but maybe you can tell me. If you have any opinions on what this could possibly mean or interpretations, please feel free to post a comment, because I'm very curious as to what this could possibly mean. A while ago, I was, just considering life. I was in a pretty messed up place in my life, and I considered, salvation and Jesus and what Jesus had done for me, what God had done for me, and I pretty much, long story short, I pretty much told myself that I was going to do the same thing for Jesus that he did for me because I loved him that much, And I'm not going to go into the whole story of it, the whole aspect of the prayer, because it was a pretty long one, and it didn't start off this way, but the prayer ended up becoming me taking on, everyone's transgressions, the sins of the world. That way God would be able to have everyone return to him. And I pretty much, I made an offer to the Most High that he would give me all the all the sins and all the transgression of the world, and that I would be judged for them alone in trade for the whole world being transformed. And I was tested, and it's kind of what the prayer led up to. But the whole time during the prayer, when I was offering this and offering that, I was always being tested. And this time I was asked, I was pretty much tested. I was asked whether or not I would be okay with that, because I was told that that the wrath that I would have to go through would be infinitely more intense than the totality of the previous, of the wrath of the world. And I said, and I told him, that I would gladly do that for him, that I would, pretty much that I'd be glad to do that for him. And it came to the point to where, when everything was said and done, when I was tested, when God knew that I was truthful and that I didn't want anything to gain out of it, but that because all I wanted was just to be able to see something good, my life was at a point to where I looked around and I just didn't see good, anywhere at all. And so it got to the point to where that's really all I wanted, was just to see good. And then it happened, like God showed himself to me. It wasn't like, oh, here, nice to meet you, you're God, right? Well, what I saw was God, and it was Christ. And I know that because I can't say it was a being or a figure. It was, what it was the universe. I had literally seen the Big Bang, and other people have claimed to have seen the same thing that I'm about to describe to you from the full opening of the Ajna chakra, the third eye, where Jesus had talked about the true rebirth being born again, and how a man cannot see the kingdom of God lest he is born again. And what happened in my experience was, I had stepped outside of all creation. I was outside of all creation, and all creation was inside of me. It was this singular point of light, but it was a circle, and it was just a single moment where this singular point expanded out into the circle of light that was inside of me, and it was everything that was manifest, as well as all possibilities that weren't. It was everything wrapped up into one. I didn't see what you had for breakfast last night. I didn't see the winning lottery numbers. I didn't see everything separate. What I saw was the totality of all things. It was all things as one. It was the source of all things itself, and that's how I knew it was God. And this moment, what I saw was all past and all future combined into one moment. It was time collapsed on itself, and I was outside of this time. I was the perimeter of the circle. The circle was this love, mercy, God, Christ, the city of heaven, the Virgin Mother Mary. It was all things. It was grace. It was perfect. It was beauty, and that was the inside of the circle, the substance of the circle, and I was this seal, this binding, this flesh around it. I was this nothing. Imagine a circle where you got a black line, that drawing the circle on a sheet of paper. Everything inside the circle, the sheet of paper, that's what I saw, and that black line of zero thickness, that mathematically is nothing, zero thickness. That's what I was. I was non-existent. I was no more. For that split second, I did not exist, and I saw my own non-existence. I saw that I was not, and I was outside of all creation, and all creation was inside of me when God had accepted my prayer of taking on all the transgressions and sins of the world and claiming the debt of the world as my own debt, and being judged for the world, and casting myself out and making myself as a foundation, as a stone to carry the weight of the world, the weight of all judgment and creation on my shoulders, in order to lift it up and preserve all of God's creation, because I loved God and love Jesus so much. So give me your opinions. Let me know what you think. I mean, throw whatever you want out there. I really don't give a fuck.